as she walks out onto the track for the Haskell.
New Jersey racing fans are some of the most enthusiastic in the country, but it's not just New Jersey fans who are here to see Rachel Alexandra. Many have traveled from the local area, some from a lot further than that. Rachel Alexandra has that drawing power, and she is here at 1-5 as our favorite in the 42nd running of the Haskell. Calvin Burrell up there, and Rachel Alexandra handling it all with the class that she has shown and the professionalism in her career. Let's meet the field now for the 42nd Haskell, starting with the Iowa Derby winner, Duke of Mischief.
Duke of Mischief won that Iowa Derby by 5 lengths over Soul Warrior. Soul Warrior came back yesterday and won the West Virginia Derby, beating the Kentucky Derby winner in Mind That Bird. So Duke of Mischief, I think if there's going to be an upset in here, it could be him at 18-1. He's a big price in here.
The 2 Summer Bird for Kent DeSormo and Tim Ice. Like we said, the blinkers on might have done the trick last time in the Belmont. Maybe this is, if they go a little bit early quick with Munnings and Rachel Alexandra, I think it makes him a player. But other than that, I think he might be a little pace compromise in this field.
The 3 up next, Papa Clem. Papa Clem ran in the local prep here for the Haskell. It's called the Long Branch. He finished 3rd, beaten 5 lengths by Atomic Rain. He was away slowly that day, but I don't think it made any difference. I think he's an outside chance here at 7-1.
The 4 Munnings, Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez. The best 3-year-old colt, maybe the best 3-year-old around 1 turn, definitely has a ton of speed. It's going to be a decision whether he's going to go early. He said earlier in an interview that he's going to let him run early. He's not going to take him back. If he wants to go, he's going to let him go.
The 5 Atomic Rain, the winner of that aforementioned Long Branch here, was purchased after that race by Godolphin Racing. Saeed bin Surur is the trainer now. Joe Bravo has been aboard for the last 2 victories by 3 lengths and by 4 lengths. Reportedly had a bruised foot earlier this week. He's recovered from that, and he makes the line up here at 18-1.
And here she is, Rachel Alexandra. You know, I've been fortunate enough to play in a lot of stadiums, been fortunate enough to play under pressure, and I got chills right now. This is the best looking horse I've ever seen in person. She is absolutely immaculate, beautiful. I mean, it's just basically speechless.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd roar behind Paul there as Larry Colmus introduced Rachel Alexandra. Lots of girl power signs here. And now's the 7, Bunker Hill, completing the lineup here. The blinkers go on. A horse that debuted for maiden $50,000 claiming was actually claimed out of that race, and then 2 days later the claim was voided. So Derek Ryan and his connections got to keep Bunker Hill, and they've made over $195,000 with this horse. A local horse trying to get the job done at 32-1.
Just 5 minutes now until Rachel Alexandra takes on the boys for the 2nd time in her career. She has not lost since November of last year, and many anticipate the winning streak will continue to go on. She is here on the East Coast. On the West Coast, there is the undefeated Zenyatta, and horse racing this year has come down to these 2 brilliant champions. As each takes to the racetrack, so much is on the line. They must keep winning if they want to be recognized as the best in our sport, and Rachel Alexandra is doing her part.
She's certainly doing her part, and the plan to take on the boys is because apparently she's not coming to the Breeders' Cup, so this is the momentum to get her to Horse of the Year honors. Steve Asmussen off stage left here. He's with a bunch of reporters. He was looking on and very, very happy with the way she warmed up in the post-parade. He makes his way back to the box seats. And look at her. She's an absolute professional. She handles all this commotion in extremely good order, and Calvin Burrell's going to be very happy with her with 5 minutes to post.
Well, Rachel Alexandra has checked off her list, beat Kentucky Derby winner. Now on that list, I guess you could say, is I need to beat the Belmont winner, and she's got that opportunity here to do that with the presence of Summer Bird.
Well, Summer Bird has a slight advantage because he's been here, like Simon said, for a month. He's been working over this track. He's familiar with this place. He's had plenty of rest since the Belmont. Sometimes the Belmont can knock horses out for a loop for a little while, but he's had plenty of rest. And like I said, Munnings to me has got a ton of speed. I think Munnings gets the lead in this race. Rachel Alexandra is going to have to pass Munnings, and if that happens, that makes Summer Bird a big player in here.
Simon, what is the tactical style you expect from Summer Bird? Because, yeah, he came from off the pace in the Belmont, but he was mid-pack that day.
Yeah, you can't take this horse out of his style. His style is to come from off the pace. He's going to be laying closer. The blinkers added a little more zip to him. And you've got to remember that was a 1.5 mile race, so I think by definition he was going to lay a little closer as well. As the races get longer, the internal fractions get a little slower, therefore the horse is going to lay a little closer. I think Kent DeSormo is not going to take him out of his running game. He might have to press the button a little earlier, but you're not going to see him rush up and try and engage early. He's going to sit back and come with his run. If he's good enough, he'll get there. If he's not, he'll pick up a piece.
And he is currently our second betting choice at odds of 5-1. Duke of Mischief, we were talking about, is winning the Iowa Derby over a horse that went on to beat Mind That Bird yesterday in the West Virginia Derby. But Duke of Mischief also has a win over a sloppy racetrack, the type of surface he's facing here today.
Well, I agree with Simon. I think this horse has got a little bit of shot to hit the board if you're playing trifectas and you're gambling in this race. I think this horse is obviously undefeated around 2 turns on the dirt. He tried the dirt one time, going 6 furlongs, wasn't successful. A race got taken off the turf and he exploded. So now they're saying maybe we got a dirt horse here. He won the Iowa Derby. He's in here in good form and he's very sharp.
Simon, as we look at the 3 Papa Clem, we mentioned it's been a great spring for him. Has it been a long spring for him?
Yeah, it's been a long spring. He's danced every dance. He never misses a beat. He's trained by an old school trainer in Gary Studi, and he put some solid works in this horse. But Papa Clem, you got to remember, beat the Belmont Stakes winner, Summer Bird, in the Arkansas Derby. But I think Summer Bird is a better racehorse now than he was then. He was improving. He was lightly raced at that stage. So I think Summer Bird will definitely turn the tables on him today.
Just 2 minutes until the Haskell. 2 minutes until they start to load. Atomic Rain, what are we to make of those discussions about the bruised foot? I mean, there was some talk he wouldn't even make the race, yet here he is.
That's always a cause for concern. I've been in that spot when I was training and when I worked around many, many good horses. It's always a cause for concern. You know, I'm sure the connections have gone over this horse from top to bottom, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But without the bruised foot, he's still got to step his game up here. He should like the wet track. He has 1 win over a sloppy service. And Joe Bravo, he's the local hero here. He's ridden more winners here than any other jockey in this race.
The largest attendance for the Haskell was back in 2003, 53,638. There was some talk they could challenge that today because of the presence of Rachel Alexandra. The rain midway through the day hampered the crowd a little bit, but everyone has piled out of the grandstand to get here trackside and take a look at Rachel Alexandra in the field contesting here. Munnings really holds the key to Rachel Alexandra's performance.
Well, I think so, and the reason why I picked Munnings, if you go back to the Derby Oaks Day, Rachel Alexandra, granted against Phillies, ran a 111-4 for 6 furlongs. Munnings on the same day, off a year layoff, went 108 and change around 1 turn. That's almost 15 lengths faster, so this horse should be on the engine.
Simon, earlier in the day you were talking to trainer Todd Pletcher about this off racetrack and how it relates to Munnings.
His response was, if he runs to the Tomlinson number, he should win this race. And what do we mean by Tomlinson number for the novice viewers? Well, there's some numbers that are in the racing form. The higher number, the better the chance this horse has to perform on a wet track. And he has the highest Tomlinson number in this race. So on paper, he should handle it.
Yeah, he needs a lifetime best performance to match what Rachel Alexandra has been doing to date. And as we look at her 7-race win streak coming in, what do you guys think is her most impressive win today?
To me, I mean, the Mother Goose to me